class of 2022. Welcome to online guest lecture series 11, organized by Statistics Department, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, Universitas Brawijaya. The theme of this event is upgrading practical skills in analyzing and interpreting business data using Excel. We are so excited have you all join us on Saturday, 7 December today. And my name is Lutfatul Amaliana. I will be your master of ceremony as well as the moderator for today. Uh, First of all, we will begin this online guest lecture by singing the Raya anthem. We kindly request all attendees to sit up straight and face the screen. We will start to sing. Please, the committee. Thank you for all attendees. Now we move to the next agenda. Yeah, the opening speech by Head of Statistics Department, Universitas Brawijaya, Ibu Rahma Fitriani, PhD. For Ibu Rahma, time is yours.
Thanks, Bu Lutfa. Good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Charanjit for spending your time, extra time for us. This is an honor for us in Department of Statistics and together with Ms. Sanzulu. Thanks, nice to meet you. As I mentioned in our communication earlier, Charanjit, this is we try to provide an opportunity for our students to expose new experience of learning in English speaking environment. So that's why we invite you as our guest lecturer. And then considering that actually they already familiar with Excel, but perhaps they still don't know that Excel is quite powerful to do our things in statistics. That's why I propose this theme by Bu Charanjit from Monash University. And for our students, this is a good opportunity for you to learn. Please make use of your time very well. And maybe Bu Charanjit she will give you kind of tasks to exercise based on what she shared to you. And you have to do it as a practice. Yeah. And me from Statistics Department wanna just hopefully that this event will go well until the end, considering that we really depend on the technology, the Wi-Fi connection, and then everything can be delayed or hopefully not. Because sometimes we have technical problems that make everything does not work as we planned. But hopefully this morning everything will be smooth and both Charanjit and the students can communicate very well. Even we only have Zoom here. Maybe next year, Charanjit, Bu Ana said that we're going to have another collaboration, yeah? I don't know when, but she already mentioned it to us. Yeah. Right, maybe that will be all from me. So the time, I will join Zoom, but inactively because we're in the middle of meeting. I'll be active again in the end of your session later. Yeah, thanks. We'll uh, uh, end this opening session and give back to Bu Lutfa. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for Ibu Rahma for the insightful speech in this opening part. All right, let's get started, everyone. Now, I will introduce our guest lecturer, Charanjit Kaur, accompanied by Zanzulu Baikanova. Both are from Department Econometrics and Business Statistics, Monash University, Australia. Exactly, both of you in Melbourne, is it? Yes, okay. What time is it there?
1 o'clock. It's 1 p.m. Yeah.
Oh, 1 p.m. Yeah. It's 4 hours from us to in Indonesia, we are still almost 9 a.m. Okay. First of all, I will read a biography of Charanjit and Zanzulu first. Charanjit Kaur has been with Monash University since 2010 and is currently a senior lecturer at Department of Econometrics and Business Statistics. Charanjit has extensive experience in teaching core postgraduate and undergraduate business statistics unit with enrollment exceeding 1,000 students. Wow. Including two of the largest core statistics unit in with combined enrollment, many students there. Teaching diverse groups of non-specialist learners presents unique challenges, which she addresses by developing innovative, student-centered approach, foster engagement and success. Her dedication to quality teaching has earned her exceptional SETU score. SETU is Students Evaluation of Teaching Unit, and multiple teaching excellence awards from faculty, university, and national level. Wow, Charanjit. You are so amazed. And today, Charanjit is not alone because Zanzulu by Canova, also accompanied with us, has been a dedicated educator at the Department of Econometrics and Business Statistics at Monash University since 2016. Specializing in teaching mathematics, focus unit in actuarial. Wow, Pak Darmanto, actuarial and analytic space. It's matching with Pak Dar. Uh, Versatile educator of expertise with engaging accessible lessons to non-specialist students across Bachelor of Commerce, Master of Business, Master of Professional Accounting, and many more. Zanzulu thrives on interacting with students and take pride in helping them master complex mathematical and analytical concepts with confidence and clarity. Without any further ado, all right, for the next around 90 minutes until 4:30 Melbourne time PM, Charanjit and Zanzulu, the time is yours.
Thank you, Bu Lutfa. Thank you very much for that very kind words. I'd like to thank Brawijaya, the team at Brawijaya, for inviting us. It's such an honor to be here to meet the team from the department and also to meet the students. We're very excited. Zanzulu and I are very excited.
Yeah, to spend your time with you guys. Yeah.
So it's such a pleasure. And I've deliberately invited Zanzulu because she plays a big role in teaching statistics in our department. And she has vast experience and she loves having fun with the students. So we thought we will make this session as creative as possible, do a little bit of interactive material.
Let's probably ask them to guess my country.
Yes, so Zanzulu is very keen to ask everyone, and all of you, you're welcome to answer this question. I'll start with myself, actually. I'll start with myself. So my name is Charanjit. I wasn't born in Melbourne, but I have lived in Melbourne for many, many years. I was actually born elsewhere. So good question to begin with. Can any of you guess where I was born, which country I was born in? Any one of you students? Anyone? Maybe Priscilla or Fitra or Rizky. Anyone can guess which country I was originally from?
So quiet.
Anyone?
People are so quiet. Come on, guys. How do you think?
Where do I come from? Which country do I come from?
Can I guess?
Of course.
Malaysia.
Okay, very good guess. Now I'm going to give you a harder question. Which country does Zanzulu come from?
Guys, can you guess my country? You can hear my accent, yeah? My accent is very, very like a strong accent. Yeah, I'm Asian. Yeah, I'm Asian, definitely Asian, yeah? But I don't speak any Asian language. I speak Russian.
Which country is Zanzulu?
How do you think? I'm Asian who speak Russian.
Okay, I'm gonna call on
Asian speak
someone since no
Russian.
one's answering.
Come on, don't
Um,
be shy. Try.
okay, I'm gonna call on someone. Actually, I'm gonna be a little bit cheeky. Rizky, can you hear me? Can you turn on your camera, Rizky?
Rizky.
Rizky disappeared.
The guys are like run away.
Rizky Ali or
Anyone? Rizky?
Rahmat, maybe?
Sorry?
There's
Rizky,
no
Rahmat?
wrong answer. Just guess.
I can see Rizky Alif. No,
Rizky
Rizky
Alif.
Alif, no answer.
Please answer.
I just
Oh.
only see the sounds that people run away from us in the morning.
Come on, guys, don't be shy.
Yeah.
No.
So, come on. Anyone?
Come on. Aisyah, maybe Aisyah? Can you guess?
So shy. Come on, guys.
Just speak. Mm-mm.
I cannot guess Mrs. Zanzulu where came from, but I wanna guess Mrs. Charanjit from India. I don't know if is it true or not.
Did you say India?
Yeah.
I am Indian background. Actually, my mom was born in India and my father was born in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Father's actually
Medan?
from Indonesia, from Medan, yes.
Medan,
So
I see.
I still have family in Medan. So, Aisha, you probably, I understand some Bahasa. I'm a little bit shy of speaking in Bahasa because my Bahasa is not as good as yours. But where's Zansulu from?
Oh, yeah. I'm scared. I don't know.
No idea.
Probably you never watched this Hollywood movie. We have one Hollywood movie that actually about my country, but I am Asian, speak Russian.
So she looks Asian,
Yeah, no, I'm Asian.
but she speaks
Russian.
Abril Hisham. I love your background.
Yeah.
Do you want to try and answer? Where's Zansulu from? Come on, guys. Don't be
Maybe
shy.
I want guess Kazakhstan.
Wow.
Oh,
Yes, I'm from Kazakhstan. Yes, thank you.
Wow, is it right?
perfect. That was a
Perfect.
perfect answer. Do you know we asked this same question to my students, our students in the classroom. Nobody could guess.
Yeah, nobody, yeah.
The one lecture is about 380 of them, and no one could guess.
Yeah.
So fantastic effort.
Yeah,
I think
thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think we have to give you a special present, a special gift for that. Maybe we'll look for extra marks for them. Anyway, thank you very much for joining in and having a little bit of fun with us. Now, if any time during the lecture you find that you cannot follow what we are saying, please feel free to stop us. Please ask us to stop and we will explain. Now, today's lecture is going to be interactive. There is an Excel sheet which I have sent to Bu Rahma. I hope you have that Excel sheet. So I would like you to open that, and I would like you to open Excel and open your PDF. In your PDF, we have two tasks. We have one task 1 and another one is task number 2. So I'm going to start off by going through some slides. I've prepared some slides. Can someone give me a thumbs up? Lutfa, can you see my slides?
Wait. I just see setting. Maybe you can choose display setting,
So
Charanjit?
you can't see my
Yeah.
slides?
Yeah, they
Yes,
see, but they
I
need to
can
that
see. It's setting
You need to share.
screen.
Okay,
Yeah, now
now can you see one
uh,
slide at least? Maybe
slideshow.
yes, can you
You
see this? I'll
need
stick
to
with this then.
slideshow.
Because this one pages
I think it's because we have another screen, I think. That's probably the reason why.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
are you able to see some slides at the moment?
The first slide.
Okay, you can, yeah? Okay, fantastic. I'm going to stick with this and I'm going to use these slides, which is fine because I'm going to go from PowerPoint to Excel and then Excel come back to PowerPoint. So I'm going to be using both, yeah? Okay, everyone, thank you very much. Very good morning to you. It is a very hot afternoon in Melbourne. I think it's because it's summertime, it's extremely hot and very humid. Now, we have a lecture. Now, Bu Rahma contacted me and said, would you be able to talk about practical skills in analyzing and interpreting business data using Microsoft Excel? I teach first-year students, very large classes of students who do not understand Microsoft Excel. They are non-specialist learners. So we spend a lot of time explaining the importance of Excel. I have with me today, I have Zansulu, who is also in our teaching team from Melbourne. And Zansulu will help me present some of the material. I have my email address and I have Zansulu's email address. So feel free to send us an email if you want to ask us any questions. We are happy to respond to it. Now, at the end of this session, I am hoping that you will be able to understand the importance of Microsoft Excel and you will be able to use Excel more extensively. The focus of my lecture is going to be on the application of Excel and how to solve business problems using Microsoft Excel. So the focus is less on the functionality, but more on the practical application of Excel. Okay, I started off by looking at, a lot of people talk about Microsoft Excel. People say Excel is important, but how many people are actually using Microsoft Excel? So I started looking at some statistics and I found that in general, 38% of individuals spend their time using Excel. And 66%, that's a huge percentage. That's almost 2/3, right? Use Excel at least once per hour. And we tend to look at Excel every 16 minutes. So you can expect that when you get into the workplace, when you start working, you are expected to know how to use Microsoft Excel. I know there are many statistical languages. There is R, SPSS, eViews, Stata, plenty of languages out there, Python. But if you do not know Microsoft Excel, I think it's a huge disadvantage. I always tell my students in the classroom, if you don't know how to use Microsoft Excel, you are not employable. Nobody will employ you. So it's very important that you start with Microsoft Excel, know how to use Excel extensively before you move on to the next software. Looking at the title that we're talking about practical skills. So what are practical skills in Microsoft Excel? Okay, so what I did was I have a slide where we talk about some of the techniques and tools that we can use to organize data, to manipulate data, to visualize data, right? And there's a huge emphasis on data preparation and management. This is the starting point. This is when you first get the data, we start thinking about What do I do with this data? How do I start with the data? I don't know if any of you know this, but typically you spend about 80% of your time. 80% of your time is in preparing the data. Research tells us that. Research tells us a majority of your time, you haven't even started the analysis. Forget about the analysis. Prepare the data first. Structure the data, clean the data. You need to import, you need to clean, you need to sort, you need to filter. This is a huge process. A majority of your time is spent on this. Data analysis, data visualization itself is a small job, because if your data is properly structured, if it's properly structured, it is very easy to do the analysis. So always remember, when you get the data, you can't straight away start doing the analysis. That's what happens in the real world. You have to clean the data. You have to look for missing variables. You have to look for duplicates. So I have a family member, right? I'll tell you a story. I have a family member who lives in Malaysia, works in the medical field. So she's a doctor. She's my niece. She's a doctor in Malaysia. And during COVID, she was in charge of managing the vaccination program in a particular town. During that time, she gathered some data and she needed to organize the data. So she needed to come up with a plan where how is she going to run the vaccination program? Because as you know, in Malaysia, we have many apartments. So many floors need to be dealt with. Some people cannot come downstairs and get their vaccination. So the doctors will and the nurses will have to go up and deal with them. So how do you deal with this situation where you have their information, you have the data, you need to know who needs the vaccination, who has received the vaccination, who else needs the vaccination, what type of vaccines, who needs help, who needs the nurses to go up to help them, who are the people who are not there, who are missing, who haven't been vaccinated? Do we need to go back and get them vaccinated? So you need to organize your data. So everyone was given a Google form. Everybody filled up the Google form. And then we found that some people, I do this as well, some people fill up the Google form twice. So how do we find duplicates, right? Plenty of duplicates. So she came back to me and she said, oh, you teach Microsoft Excel. Can you tell me, I have some data, but I think some people may have filled up the information 2 times. So how do I deal with the data? So I told her, you have to look for duplicates. You need to find a unique ID. In Malaysia, we have ID cards. So everybody will have a unique ID number. You can use that number and you can look for duplicates and you can clean up your data. Then she came back to me and she said, you know what? I actually spent a lot of time just preparing the sheet. I told her, welcome to my world. Because in my world, this is what we do. We need to prepare. Imagine if I ask you to come to my house and help me to paint the walls. Say you have to do painting in my house. You have to prepare the room, right? You have to put plastic sheets. You have to clean the walls. You have to prepare your brushes. So think of it that there's a lot of work that you need to do in the preparation, right? And the preparation itself takes a long time. If your preparation is good, your data is clean, properly structured, then all of this is quite quick. It is quite quick. Always when you get the data, often we look at the variable, meaning the label. We don't know what the label means. Maybe the label is entered as something else, and you're looking at the label and you're thinking, what are you talking about? Where are the units for this? Where did this data come from? How much of data do I have? How many cells are missing? So there's a lot of work there. Problem solving and interpretation is a weakness. It is a weakness. I call it a weakness because many of my students have difficulty with this. Many of my students struggle with this. They struggle with this because they do not know how to interpret the data. Interpreting data is a very important skill at the workplace. A lot of employers are looking for individuals who can explain the meaning of the results. I always say number crunching. Number crunching means to come up with results, your regression output, to come up with your intervals, to come up with your descriptive statistics. That is not enough. You need to use all of this, and you need to be able to explain the meaning of those numbers in very simple terms.
Especially those ones who are not like in statistical world. Yeah, probably like your mom or dad. Yeah, you need to be able to do this.
So you need to be very careful when you get your results, right? We can go through the whole motions and make sure your results are validated. So you know whether your statistical results are valid. But then the last step, the final step is, what is the answer to the problem? What is the solution? Your employer, your bosses, I think the word is majikan, right? Am I right? Aisha, is it majikan? Majikan means your boss or your employer.
Yes,
Your
right.
Yeah. Your employer will need to know what is the solution. Please don't give me a problem. Give me the solution. And to interpret the numbers, that's the most important part. And that's what employers are looking for. So a practical skill in Excel starts from preparation, knowing how to deal with the data. So preparing the data, doing the analysis, and then coming up with the results. That's an extremely important skill. I also thought about, where do we use Excel, right? Before we start doing some fun stuff. Where do we actually use Excel? So I remember many years ago, another story. I like to tell stories, yeah? I have one more story for you. So many years ago, I had a student who wasn't doing very well in statistics. He wasn't doing well, and then he came to me and he said, you know what, Charanjit, I can't do this. I can't do statistics. And I said, come on, relax. Be patient, practice, you should be fine. But then he said something which made me a little bit upset and a little bit worried. He said, but you know what? I'm a businessman. I already have my own business. I am not going to use Excel. So then I asked him, if you are not going to use Excel, who is going to look at your data? He said, I will hire someone. I will employ someone to do this for me. I said, wonderful, very good. I said, then what? They will come up with the solutions for me. But I said, don't you think if you know how to use Excel and come up with the analysis, it is an advantage for you? Advantage because you know what they're doing. You know if you need to do more or whether they have done something different to what you want. So it is very important. I said, I don't expect you to know everything. It is impossible to know everything about Excel. Impossible to know everything about Excel. But you need to know something. You need to know enough about Excel. So whether you are a finance student or whether you are a marketing student, you still need to use Excel, whether you're an accounting student. Forecasting is a very important part of what we do these days. Ever since COVID, I think forecasting and predicting has become very, very popular. Analyzing market data is very important. If you're a consultant, a marketing consultant, you need to find insights, you need to find patterns in the data. And you can only do that if you know what you're looking for. You know what the problem is, and you know what you are trying to solve. You need to understand. So when you start the problem, you don't have the answers. It's like going into a forest, you don't know what you're going to be doing. You're probably going to be wasting a lot of time. And that's fine. And you keep doing it, you keep trying out different types of analysis until you get to a point where you say, I think this makes a little bit of sense. And I think I'm getting somewhere with it. So once you get all the different trends and the patterns, then you can decide which one is meaningful, which one is useful. I will keep that. The rest of it, good, I have done all this work. Maybe I don't need to use that. As a teacher, I use Excel a lot because I look at marks, I look at grades. So my tutors have to enter marks. I remember we had an assignment which is 40 marks, total marks. Many years ago, somebody entered 400 instead of 40. But I could only find that mistake because I downloaded the marks into Excel and I use filters, or I can use any other technique. There's so many functionalities in Excel that you can use to find this type of error. So human error, data entry, is a possibility, right? It could be, it will happen, and it does happen a lot, right? And I thought we could start. Bu Lutfa, do you think that should we stop just if anyone doesn't understand what I'm saying, or am I going too fast, or do we have any questions?
I think it's so clear until now, Charanjit. Students, ada pertanyaan kah sampai titik ini? Oh, there's no question now, Charanjit.
I hope it's
Not
not
yet, maybe.
I hope it's not no questions because they don't understand anything that too boring.
Maybe
and they're probably
not
to have
yet.
this. No, let's hope not. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. I think we will have a little bit of fun. Maybe we can start. I want you to think about yourself, right? Students, I want you to think about yourself. So I'm just going to stop sharing. I want you to think about yourself. Are you good at Microsoft Excel? Can you rate yourself and rate your own Microsoft Excel skills? I want you to do that. So we've actually prepared a short survey, and I wonder whether you can scan that QR code.
Yes. Okay, you have guys two options. Either to scan this QR code. You need to take your smartphone. Don't register, skip, but probably give your like a nickname and answer these questions. If you don't have smartphone, computer in front of you, just type this. Yeah. paul.com/ZHB. That's my like initials. Yeah, you can. I activated. Therefore, yeah, you have access to this. Yeah, there are 3 questions, just simple. We will see. Yeah, we already will see some information about like Excel. Yeah, I can see like 2
people have.
Yeah, 2 people.
Do not register. Don't
Don't register. We don't need
registration.
Yes, skip it. Yeah. Just probably name, yeah, I don't know, like Jana, yeah, as I told you, I will type Jana, yeah, at least like for yourself or for us. Yeah, we are not interested in that. We just want to understand your level of like your self-assessment, yeah, for Excel.
Wow. 5.
Yeah, you can see we even on the left side, you can see, yeah, we can see that how people self-assess, yeah, in terms of Excel. And again, in this case, no like a wrong, right answer, just
I promise you, you have no marks for this. No, this is not an exam. This is not an assessment. So
Right.
enjoy yourself.
Right.
Put any answer.
Yeah, that's good. Don't be shy. Yeah, we have what, 120, whatever, two numbers of participants. Yeah, the more, you know, the bigger sample, the better. Look, we are lucky. Everyone is happy to see, to be like, to think that Excel is useful. Yeah.
We still have some people, I think, who haven't.
We have 126, okay, 100, but there's only, what, 50?
Scan QR code. Yeah. Skip registration. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Bu Lutfa. I think
Yeah.
that's very helpful.
Not need to register, just like, what do you think about your
Surveys.
You can see some already results. I'll make it a little bit smaller to see everything. Yeah. Okay. We probably don't have full experts, but it's okay. Yeah, I think that those one whose life devoted to Excel, yeah, they are experts. Oh, that's as well lovely. Yeah, that's at least,
Yes.
yeah, sometimes people use Excel. That's so good. Oh, and useful, that as well. Yeah, therefore we know why we're here.
100%.
Yeah. We need to choose the.
We have a few more who haven't. We only have 72.
Don't be shy.
Is anyone having trouble going in? Is anyone having difficulty to go in?
Ada yang kesulitan?
Only 71 surveys.
Yeah.
What about the
Hmm.
others?
Still.
Are they having difficulty?
Yang lain kemana ya? 125 loh. Come on, students.
Do some conclusion.
Okay, I think we can talk about the results. You can still continue doing it. Don't stop, yeah? Those of you who are still doing this, that's fine. Do we want to have a look at the first question?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
the first question, beginner, intermediate, advanced, expert. Nobody is an expert. I don't think I'm an expert. I don't think anyone here is an
Yeah, I'm
expert.
as well not an expert. Yeah, because my life is not devoted fully to Excel. I'm using a lot of different softwares for different purpose, but Excel is the main. Yeah.
So 60%, a majority, if I interpret these results, a majority
Yeah, majority.
are intermediate, 60%, I would call that a majority. Almost everyone, that's what I would write if I'm writing a sentence. Almost everyone, because 60 plus 30 is 90%, is either beginner or intermediate, right? At most is an intermediate user.
Yeah.
We have 1 in 10 of you are advanced users. Fantastic. I think that's really good. We do not have any expert users, but I think I have to say this is a little bit off the topic, but I think many of us culturally,
Yeah.
we tend to be a little bit modest and we tend to be a little bit kind and always say that, no, I'm not an expert. Maybe you're an expert. I think some of you may be an expert, but you will be a little bit culturally, I think we tend to do that. We tend to say, or at least from Malaysia, we tend to do that.
Yeah, try to little bit
sometimes-
to tell that no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the next question?
Yes.
So 1/3 of you use it sometimes. 1/3 of you use it about twice in a week, 3 to 4 days,
Yeah.
2 times in a week. And we have 14% using it daily. Fantastic. But basically, no one here has never used Excel. So I think we have quite an even spread there. You either use it sometimes once a week or twice a week. And a small proportion is using it daily, which is very
Yeah.
interesting. You use it daily, is fantastic. Do you think Excel is useful? Everybody thinks yes, because you are attending our lecture. So everybody says yes. It's okay to say no, yeah, that's fine. Maybe if you're using Python or R or
Yeah,
Tableau,
yeah,
you
yeah.
might say, no, Excel is not useful, something else is useful. But that's fine. I think everyone says Excel is useful.
Okay.
Do you guys have any comments? Do you want to say anything or share anything about your experience with Microsoft Excel? Do you want to stop sharing?
Yeah.
Anybody wants to tell me anything about their experience with Excel? Anyone? Students, anyone? Do you have any comments? Anyone? Amar, do you have any comments? Sorry, Amar, I didn't mean to pick on you or put you on the spot, but because I could see your video, so I said, sorry, Amar, you're muted. Do you want to unmute?
Anyone can unmute.
Yeah, anyone can unmute.
Maulana or Aisha maybe? Or
Aisha,
Amar?
I have to say, I think Aisha is a very popular student because Bu Lutfa has called you a few times.
Twice.
Aisha, you have to say something now. Come on. Don't be shy. You can say something in
Aisha.
Bahasa. Probably, if you say it slowly, I will understand. Don't speak
Yeah.
fast. If you speak slowly, I will understand. Aisha, do you use Excel very often? Do you use it often?
Yeah, maybe yes. There's some assignment that needs to use Excel to use RStudio. I mean we do analyze on RStudio. So that's why we need to import from Excel and we need to pre-processing the data
Mm-hmm.
in Excel before we import it in our like
Right.
that. So it's just it, I guess.
I see. That's very helpful. That's true because a lot of the data is imported using Excel. And anyone else? Amar, do you have anything to say?
Uh, yeah, we do Excel. We do our test with Excel, and sometimes we do our other tasks with Excel too.
Wonderful. Excellent. But I think, and Bu Lutfa will correct me if I'm wrong, I think you use Excel probably in the beginning, and then later on you probably learn new languages as well, programming
Yeah.
languages. Fantastic.
Yes.
And is there anyone here who has any difficulties? Like what do you, anyone wants to make a comment about what is it that you don't like about Microsoft Excel? There are a lot of things I don't like about Microsoft Excel, but is there anyone here who has any comments? Is there anything you find difficult with Excel? Anyone? Or you love Excel to bits?
Ayo, siapa ya yang merasa
Siapa ya? I wonder. I can understand a little bit. Jonas.
Yeah, okay, you will translate it for me.
Ika?
Any comments, Ika? Or you think Excel is easy to use?
No, I think I love Excel.
You like Excel? Is it easy to learn?
Maybe yes, but I think I should learn Excel more.
Right. So you probably find it useful and you should learn more. So the reason I'm asking this is because I want all of you to reflect on how much you know and how you should learn a little bit more. Is it useful? Where can I use it? You can't use Excel everywhere because it comes to a point where you may need some other
Yeah.
languages because it's an extended analysis that you need to do.
No, yeah, at least you need to know the language, like language to do the proper, you need to understand the logic behind of, yeah, you need to, first of all, you need to build up and then get the results. With Excel, you can like enter the formula and see the results immediately without
The
like,
thing I like about Excel is it tells you what it's looking for.
yeah.
So example, if you enter norm.s.dist, in brackets, it will tell you, give me the probability, for instance, or give me the value, give me the mean, give me the standard deviation.
Especially, yeah, it is important for exam. Yeah,
Correct.
because, yeah, we
So
allow
in
students
our
to-
exams, we tell our students to use Excel. Don't use the calculator, use Excel. And but the thing I don't like about Excel is that you need a license for it. So you need to pay money for it. So that part, there are other softwares which may be open source, but anyway, I think most of us probably have an account or a license. Okay, so this is what we're going to do in the second part of the lecture. We are going to do an exercise, and we will do an exercise together. All right. So I think the Brawijaya team has given you the material. If you look at the material, you should have one called task 1.
Task 1,
Task
lecture.
1, yeah. Task 1 will give you the question, and then you will have data description and questions to address. There is also a data set that you need to open in order to answer task 1. So we will start off by looking at okay. I think you're still seeing my screen that way, are you?
Yeah, we are not.
Okay, so we are probably not succeeding well. I tried swapping That's interesting
Go back to
because
you and restore your settings. No, you probably need to change your desktop settings.
yeah, but you can see my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll carry on without wasting your time. What I'm going to do is I am going to introduce the task to you first. And then we can go to Excel and start doing some work together, right? So we have a supermarket chain. So I thought what I'll do is I'll give you a problem and then we solve the problem together using Excel. There are many ways of dealing with this answer. What I'm giving you is just one way of dealing with it. You may have other ways. So we have a supermarket chain. And chain here means that they have many stores, right? They are looking at the benefits of introducing incentive schemes for its managers. So they are trying to encourage their managers. They want to give them some incentive. And the objective is to evaluate the influence. So evaluate the influence of managers' skills and tenure. So how long they stay with the supermarket is the tenure. Their skill and their tenure. What is the influence of that on profitability? Right? So influence of skill, influence of tenure. Tenure means how long they are with the supermarket store. And how does it influence profitability? So the analysis will help the company to decide whether they should or they should not implement those incentives. So is it a good idea to implement the incentive? That's the main thing, right? Use whatever data analysis, whatever statistical tool. So there is no formula sheet. There is no textbook. You are just given a problem. In the real world, you download your data, you're given information, you are given a problem, same scenario. You need to find a way to tell the company whether it is a good idea to come up with these incentive schemes or not. So should we come up with a scheme? Or maybe we are wasting our time to motivate the managers. So make up, we need to get some information, we need to get some evidence to come up with that decision, okay? In order to answer this question, we need to understand the data. So what do? We go to the data and we look at the variables. So I have profit in bold because I think profit is our ultimate aim, right? We are trying to maximize our profit. We want to know whether it helps us improve profit. Because we are talking about skills, I'm probably not too interested in population, right? That's less important to me. This is less important to me. This is not so important, not at the moment at least, maybe later. But for now, I'm interested in manager, how long the manager is with the company. Crew meaning staff, how long are they with the company? Their skill. Now the skill has a 5-point rating, right? 5 is the highest. Manager skill, same thing, 5-point rating, 5 is the highest. So I'm trying to understand the data. And I think by using common sense or my logical thinking, maybe I should be looking at service quality because service quality will most probably influence profit. Okay? Service will depend on human beings, the system that we set up. So managers, their skills and their tenure will most probably have an influence on service, or at least that's what I think. I'm going to try and find evidence of that. And that's going to influence profit. So that's my thinking. Jana, do you agree?
Yeah, that will depends on from which side, yeah, you are doing analysis, from inside or from outside. Yeah, then you might use some other variables. Yeah, but for our purpose, yeah, we need these ones. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So we try and keep it small and then we can make it bigger, the analysis. So I started with something very small. Then I asked myself, what information do I need? Okay, once I understand the data, I clean the data, right? So I clean the data, understand the data, everything done. Now ready to do the analysis. What am I looking for? So what am I looking for? What are the questions that I need to ask myself? That's where I came up with a bunch of questions. I wanted to look at leadership. Leadership, if the manager is highly skilled, if the skill of the manager goes up, will the skill of the crew go up as well? Is there a relationship? Maybe there's no relationship. If the manager stays longer at the store, will the crew stay longer as well? So I'm kind of finding the relationship between managers and crew, right? Is there a relationship between the two? I haven't gone to service quality yet. Service quality is number 2. I'm just looking at I think we're having a little bit of an echo.
Yes, it's nice. Hasan.
Okay. So when I start with manager skill and crew skill, is there a relationship? I like pictures. I like graphs. I always tell my students, start with a picture because the picture will help you. It will tell you a very quick story and then you can do something else. So I have a question. I think we have another poll, right? So you want me
Just one
to,
question, yeah.
I'm going to stop. I want you to think about if I'm looking at the relationship between manager and crew, right? What kind of picture should I be drawing? What kind of graph should I be drawing? Or should it be a pivot table? Can be anything, right? I'm not saying one is better than the other, but a visualization is very important because a visual will give you the first impression of the data and the visual will give you a starting point. So,
Okay, same like a link that was provided in your chat, yeah, ZHB. You're supposed to have access to this question. How do you think which is the best? Would you pick up?
can you answer this question?
Yeah.
Don't worry, no marks for this one.
It's just what do you think? Yeah. You just got data. You have question. How do you think what is the best way to visualize, to get first impression? Can you have do you have access to this? Is it activated? It's supposed to be.
Yeah, with the same link.
Yeah, same link. Yeah, now I activate another one. Do you have? Can you pick up? Hopefully it works.
I just try and it can work. Cannot work.
It
Doesn't-
didn't work. It doesn't work.
Yes, it didn't work. It doesn't work.
What doesn't? That's
It's
very
not active to click or choose.
very.
Is there a different QR code?
No, it's okay.
Doesn't work. I can choose one of 4.
Yeah. Yeah, so just I'll try to see what's going on. That's supposed to be activated. I activated it. I activate.
Maybe present.
Okay, I'll try present. No, present is not. That's one. Can you see now? No? Oh. Can you pick up?
Oh,
No?
just we'll try again.
Yeah, that's I'm just like trying, yeah, whatever option is.
It's not web voting has not been turned on for this poll.
Yeah, that's like yeah, okay. Okay. Activate. Presentation share. Look, send. This one. Send. Maybe go back. Now you see in this case they don't have anything test. Enable. Oh, enable. Okay.
Now,
have
do
tried.
you have access?
Yeah, we are trying as well. So
Yeah,
many.
I will try again. Still the same?
Still can't, is it?
That's so
Still
interesting.
cannot work. It doesn't work.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Maybe deactivate and activate again. See whether that works.
What type of
Does share give you?
share give you nothing? Copy response link.
Maybe copy.
Copy to clipboard.
Ada yang sudah bisa, students? Ya, belum ada yang bisa ya?
That we're trying. Okay, I send link. Maybe try to
Click on the link here.
click on the link that I sent. Sorry, just I'm trying. Oh my God.
Yeah, I will try.
So interesting. The new experience even for me.
Is it work, student? How, Ika? It doesn't work.
No,
Still
okay.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we have bar chart, scatter plot, histogram, pie chart. What I'm going to ask you to do is maybe use the chat and type in your answer. Is that okay?
Okay.
Students, if you can just type in which one do you think will be suitable for this type of problem? So remember, we want to look for relationship between manager skill and crew skill.
Yeah, anyone can
Okay.
type.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, champions.
Yeah, the perfect.
Scatter plot. Perfect. So we probably would have got 100% scatter plot. That's amazing. I think that's really what we were trying to get. We're trying to get what type of graph do you think will be suitable? I like the graph because the graph is a visual. And I always say start with a visual. So can I, at this point, ask you to maybe open up the Excel file, which you have? So let's see. Oh, your screen is frozen.
Yeah.
Interesting. Bu Lutfa, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen, Charanjit, task 1, lecture data, Excel,
Yeah.
Perfect.
You can
without
see the Excel
solution.
sheet. Fantastic. Okay. Students, do all of you have this data file?
Bisa di-download di chat Zoom Ting, sudah bisa akses? Ya, silakan diikuti. Please continue, Charanjit.
Thank you. Okay, let's start with the first one, right? So I was thinking about question number 1. What I did in this case is I went to the data. We have all these variables for the data, and I have taken the variables that I need to make your life a little bit easier. I have copied the variables under this sheet called question 1. So if you open question 1, we have manager skill and crew skill. We want to find the relationship between the two. Okay, the question is there a relationship between manager skill and crew skill? So let's try and draw a scatter plot, really. That's all we're doing. Draw a scatter plot, highlight the data, which might be easy for some of you. Click on insert, get a scatter plot. And if I want to make this a little bit prettier, I can right-click, format axis, change the minimum to maybe 3. And that should give me my scatter plot. Okay, I'm going to stop. Bu Lutfa, this is something that they are familiar with. You're muted, Bu Lutfa.
Yes, sorry.
So
They are familiar with scatter plot. It's
okay.
supposed to be.
Yep. And what I do is I click on the plus sign and I ask for a trend line.
Trend line.
Okay. Now I have column A, manager skill, column B, crew skill. I put manager skill on the left because I wanted manager skill to be on the horizontal axis, x-axis. And I put crew skill on the right because I want to put crew skill as my y variable. So in this case, manager skill is my x variable and crew skill is my y variable.
Right.
And this is where a little bit of mathematics comes into statistics, because we know that x changes first, right? And we're trying to find whether the change in x can help us explain the change in y. It doesn't cause the change in y, but it can help us explain the change in y. So I deliberately put x first, followed by y. I didn't do it the other way around. And then I can draw the scatter plot very easily, and I have my trend line. I can do the same. Can I ask all of you to do the same for manager tenure and crew tenure? Because the second question says, do crews tend to stay at a store longer if the manager stays longer? So highlight, insert, scatter plot. Very easy. Highlight, insert, scatter plot. And same thing. We can ask, I'm going to close this part of it. We can ask for a trend line. So same thing. Right?
Mine is lagging.
Yours is lagging. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is telling me a story. And this is telling me a story as well. Now I'm going to go back to my slides. So I'm just turning to look at,
Don't go that side.
yeah. Is there a relationship between manager skill and crew skill? All of you said we will draw a scatter plot. And we did just that. Do crews tend to stay longer if their managers also do? So we've drawn a scatter plot. We have 2 scatter plots. And our scatter plots are telling us, is there a relationship between manager skill and crew skill? What do you think? If the manager skill is going up, is the crew skill going up? Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't think we see a very strong relationship between the two. You don't have to have a yes or no answer here, right? But it's not looking like it's a very strong relationship. But if I look at the graph on the right, this one, do crews tend to stay at a store longer? So manager stays longer, crew stay longer? Maybe yes. Right? If we have a manager who's been there a little bit longer, the staff are probably quite happy. The manager is probably more experienced, I think. And the staff will stay longer. So now we know a little bit about the relationship, right? And I know that something should be done for tenure. This is important to me because this is telling me some story. I should be spending some of my time on making sure that the managers stay a little bit longer at a store. And if I think about this, maybe, just maybe, I should be thinking about, for this one, I should be thinking about retention. Retention means keeping them longer at a store. Now, let's move on. I've also asked this question of staff skills and service quality. Are they related? Is there a relationship between manager skill and service quality? Crew skill and service quality. Now, I finished talking about the relationship. Now I talk about their skill and the service quality. Because after service quality, I will go to profit. Right?
Can I ask the question? Like about the first one, you did visualization, but if we don't have time for visualization, how else you can see, how else you can check presence of any relationship? Any idea?
That's a very good question from Zansulu. Zansulu is asking, if you don't draw the scatter plot, is there some other way in which we can find that relationship?
Yeah. Because sometimes we just don't have time, yeah, for doing visualization. It's very quick, but we need to do it very. How else we can do this? Any useful term?
Anyone wants to put something in the chat? If I don't draw a scatter plot, is there some other way I can find that relationship? Anybody? Anyone? So previously we said scatter plot.
Or in addition to scatter plot, what else we can do? Or calculate?
What do you think? Anyone? No idea?
Ayo, ada yang punya ide? Keleng-keleng dia. They have no idea, I think.
I should have at the start said jangan malu, jangan takut.
Nah,
Is that
jangan
right?
takut.
Jangan segan,
Aman
jangan
mau
malu.
jawab? Aman mau
Sorry?
jawab gak apa? Oh,
Anyone?
enggak.
It's okay if you give me an answer which is incorrect. It's okay. It's fine to be incorrect. So I'm going to help you a little bit. If you don't want to use a visual. So Zansulu asked me this question. If you do not want to use a visual, can we calculate correlation maybe?
Yeah, why not? At least it tells me, are they move in one direction or they move in opposite direction?
Correlation maybe.
Yeah.
That tells me the relationship
At least
as well.
correlation is perfect, yeah? Quickly.
Okay, what about relationship between manager skill and service? Crew skill and service. So I use the same thing. Now remember, I start with skill versus skill. Then I go skill versus service. Then I will go, the next step is service and profit. So I go step by step. Manager skill and service quality, crew skill and service quality. I'm going to use the same type of graph because I love pictures. So what I'm going to do is I open up Excel again. Go back to Microsoft Excel. I want you to click on question 2, service quality versus skill. Now you can see that in column A, I have crew skill. In column B, I have service quality. Column D, manager skill. Column E, service quality. So same thing, highlight and draw a scatter plot. Same thing. Okay. I'm not going to draw the scatter plot for you because I think otherwise that might take too much of time. I'm going to go back to my slides, and that here I drew a scatter plot. This is what you should get. So students, if you want, you can actually draw the scatter plot yourself. And sorry, not this one. Is that correct? Yeah. No,
No, next.
no, this one
Yeah.
doesn't look right. This one, this is what you should get. So we have the first one, crew skill versus service quality, manager skill versus service quality. Now, what does that tell me? What is this telling me? Crew skill versus service quality, the graph on the left and the graph on the right. Which one gives me a stronger relationship and a more useful relationship for my purpose? Remember, I'm trying to find whether I should be spending my time and my money on managers. Should I be spending my time and my money on managers to give incentives, maybe give them a bonus, give them extra training to my managers? Or am I wasting my time? I should be training my crew because they are going to give me higher profit. But I think the issue here is the company has decided that they want to invest in the managers. Is it a good idea? They're asking you. So you can go back to your stakeholders. Stakeholders means the people who hired you to answer the question. You can go back to them and you can tell them, you know what? If your managers are more highly skilled, that's a stronger positive relationship. I can see that positive relationship through the scatter plot. And it is probably worth spending some time, spending some money on your managers. Not to say that we shouldn't be spending time on this, but based on our motive or objective, we want to know your client wants to know whether you should be spending money on managers. So in this case, yes, it's a good idea. So we're happy with the outcome here. We have an idea of what's happening. I'm going to go back to our questions here. And if we go back, is there, I'm also looking at whether you are able to see my
Mine somehow lagging.
lagging, yeah. So is there a relationship between manager skill, crew skill versus service quality? We can see a stronger relationship here. Okay, so we are all happy with that. We have some story to tell. Now, which pair of relationship is stronger? I think we have an idea. And can we disentangle? So which pair of relationship is stronger, and can we disentangle what factors are driving service quality? This is where you start looking at the bigger picture. Now, stop drawing graphs and start doing something a little bit more complex and something that will give you more information about individual factors. So we move on and do further analysis, right? Go back to your data set. Can all of you go back, help me do this together with me? Go back to the data set and click on the next worksheet. The worksheet is labeled question 2, service quality categories. Okay, I want all of you to click on this. Service quality categories. Now, this is where you start using your own creativity. You have to be a little bit brave and start exploring different ways of dealing with the data. There is no right or wrong answer, but what I did was I thought if I'm going to look at the relationship between crew skill and service quality, manager skill and service quality, I need to divide my stores according to service quality. I need to divide the stores. Some stores have very low service quality. Some stores have very high service quality. So I divided them into two. Zansulu asked me a question. She said, why do you use 90? Why not use 80? Why not use 70? Because if I go back to my data, I can actually go back to my data. And if in my data, if I look at the column for service quality, which is column M, right? If I look at column M, I will find that column M begins with 57 and it goes all the way up to 100.
Yeah, if you filter, yeah, you see you can filter.
If you filter column M, 57 to 100. So going back to my data, go back to question 2, service quality categories. Okay, go back to service quality categories. You can see that service quality less than 90, service quality greater than or equals to 90. I filtered it, copied, pasted here. And now I can do some type of analysis to find out whether service quality and crew skill, manager skill, what type of relationship there is. I can actually start doing that kind of work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with descriptive statistics. So now I'm moving forward a little bit. I'm looking at descriptive statistics. And Bu Lutfa will correct me. If you have used descriptive statistics, then you click on data. There is data analysis. So you can click on data analysis. And you can choose descriptive statistics. So it will tell you, it will give you the function, data analysis.
Data analysis.
And choose descriptive statistics.
Yes, descriptive statistics.
Okay, does everyone have data analysis installed or activated?
Ya, apakah semuanya sudah pernah add-ins yang bagian data analisis pada Excel? Biasanya harus di add-ins. Jika belum muncul, berarti harus add-on ya, add-on or add-ins. Harus masuk ke file pengaturan, setting, and di sana ada apa namanya? Wait.
Data analysis tool pack.
Ya, tool pack. Data analysis tool pack. Oke. Amar sudah? Aisyah sudah? Oke.
Very popular.
Some of students sudah has been using data analysis in their menu
Oh,
in Excel
wonderful, wonderful.
for analyze something in
Very good. And if you click on
yeah,
OK, if you
before.
click on data analysis, descriptive statistics, you choose OK, you will have your input range. For input range, I am just going to choose crew skill. So if you choose crew skill, you have to be careful to make sure that you click on labels. And in this case, I'm going to put my answer in the same worksheet. So I'm just going to put my answer somewhere here. And don't forget to choose summary statistics. Right? So remember labels, summary statistics, because we chose labels. And click OK. Now, what this gives you is this will give you your crew skill average. And this will give you the standard error. This will give you the median, the mode, standard deviation, sample variance, all of these numbers.
Yes.
And these numbers are very important. You can do it a different way. You can actually just do it one by one if you want, but you can also do it this way. In this case, what I'm getting at is I'm trying to find the lower boundary and the upper boundary of crew skill. And if I look for the lower boundary and upper boundary of crew skill, I need to find my critical value. And my critical value can be calculated because this is from the sample. So I will use the T inverse function, and I can use T inverse two-tail. I'm doing this at 5%. And my degrees of freedom are 37. So that will give me my critical value. So remember, 5%, 37 degrees of freedom. And then I can find my lower limit or lower boundary, if you want to call it that. It's up to you. Or you can just do your lower limit and upper limit. And this is very easy and it's fairly quick. All I do is I just get my average minus critical value multiplied by standard error. And you can do the same. Because I'm lazy, I'm going to use absolute cells, not relative cells. So I absolute the values and then copy the formula and just change minus to a plus. That's all. So now I have lower limit and upper limit for crew skill. And this one is basically, let me just quickly make it look a little bit nicer. So this is basically telling me that, so I wanted to do something here. What was I trying to do? I was trying to merge the cells. This is telling me it's for quality level, service quality level less than 90. So low service quality level. So I've done that for column A. I can continue this process and just keep doing it again and again and again for manager skill, less than 90, crew skill, greater than 90, manager skill, greater than 90. So I can keep repeating that process. So what I would end up with is something that looks like this table here. Okay. And this table is telling me that if I have service quality, so low service levels and high service levels, but for crew, then low service level and high service level for managers. And if I look at those numbers are telling me a story again. They are telling me that if I take this value and this value, compare it with this and this, there is an overlap. If there's an overlap, I'm not so confident. I'm going to be a little bit careful about what I say. And if I look at the other numbers, so if I look at maybe high service crew and high service manager, I can see that high service manager is higher. And that's also telling me a story. No overlap. Basically, what we're saying is that managers who are highly skilled, right? When the manager is highly skilled, service quality higher. So manager highly skilled, service quality higher than crew highly skilled. Service quality high. So obviously the averages are higher. So the average service quality is higher if we focus on the managers. Stores where the service quality is higher, on average, the managers have a higher service skill level. That's the statement. For stores which produce higher service quality, the managers are on average, their skill level is higher than crew. So that's another story to tell. So is there evidence to suggest that crew managers from these stores are better skilled? Yes, there is evidence. The evidence is telling us that stores which have service quality which is higher, on average, managers have a higher level of service compared to crew. And I have statistical evidence to support that. Right? The next thing I can do is go back to my questions. Which pair of relationship is stronger? Can we disentangle the staffing factors that drive service quality? Now I want to start looking at the whole story. And if I want to look at the whole story, I can start looking at correlation matrix. So what I did was I went to my Microsoft Excel. I went to the next worksheet. Right? Regression. If you click on this, you can use all of this and use data analysis, same thing. I'm not using descriptive statistics. I'm looking for, what am I looking for here? I'm looking for correlation, correct? So then click on correlation and enter your input range. So input range is all of this, labels. Output range, decide where you want to put it. I'm going to put it here because I'm happy to have everything in the same page. And I would eventually end up with a correlation matrix if my computer will move. Okay. So this is telling me another part of the story. But you have to be careful with this type of data, this type of evidence, because this is telling you one-to-one relationships. So this could be suffering from omitted variable bias, right? This is pairwise relationships. Be very careful. But this is telling me from a starting point, this number I like. I like this number, right? It's a good one to be looking at. It's telling me that manager skill and service quality. So you see how it's telling me manager skill, service quality. So that's kind of telling me one part of the story, which we kind of got from your confidence intervals as well. Then the other number, which is probably quite prominent, is this number here, crew tenure and crew skill. That's also quite a fairly prominent relationship. The other one which would be useful would be crew tenure and manager tenure. And manager tenure and manager skill. So again, we come back to keep them longer in the company, right? Focus on manager skill. I'm starting to get that story building up. Now, next thing, move to something a bit more complex, relationship. Disentangle the staffing factors. What do I mean by disentangle staffing factors? Look at all factors. So go to data. If I want to look at all these relationships, I want to see what is driving service quality. So what do? Maybe make this, come up with your model. Make this your Y variable. Make this your X variables. Come up with a model. So data analysis again. Look for regression. What's your Y input? Y input is all of this. What's your X range? X range in this case would be all of this. I've chosen labels. I'm going to put it somewhere easy for me to look for. And I'm going to put it here. Happy with it? And like magic, you should get your regression output. So can you see how manager skill, again, very prominent. So you've started to move into the world of, you're now starting to move into the world of modeling. You're starting to develop a model so that the model will tell you the same story. And this is what your model looks like. Sorry, this is what your model looks like. But I'm also not very happy because I'm looking at my p-values, right? Not every p-value is significant. So you got to be careful about what to do next. How about if I look at the whole data set, all the variables, and then maybe I can then take some of the variables not significant, throw them out. So go back to my thinking, write more questions. What about profit? I have been focusing on, I started with skill. From skill, I went to service quality. From service quality, I want to now start looking at profit. So start developing a model where you can probably think about profit. Where do I go with this, right? What happens next? So what I did was I actually, under Excel, I went to question 3. I call question 3. I put all the data. The whole thing, I just copied it because I didn't want to disturb my original data set. And I now have profit as my Y variable, and I have all these as my X variables. I'm going to develop a big model. And my big model is telling me, Bu Lutfa, I think I will speed up a little bit, yeah? Because I think you will be running out of time.
Yes.
And my
Yes.
big model tells me I have all these factors. If I look at these factors, I have put in red the ones that are not significant. So the ones that are not significant, visibility, crew skill, not so happy. So I kind of stepped back and I said, what about I don't look at all factors, but I come up with a reduced model. And my reduced model is actually looking quite good. My R square is good. My adjusted R square is good. The overall, my F significance, is I can do an F test. The model is significant. All the p-values are significant. So I'm a happy person, I think, at this stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy with this model. Happy with the p-value, happy with significance F, happy with adjusted R square, happy with R square. So generally, what's my model looking like now? It's looking like this. What can we say about this? I have put this in green because I'm interested in skills of the people. I'm not focusing on pedestrian count or how long the store is open up. That's not what my client asked me to look at. My client asked me to focus on skills, manager skills. They want to give incentives. So crew skill, no impact on profit. Remember that, crew skill, no impact on profit. Manager skill, positive impact on profit. I don't know how to spell, I realized. Manager skill, no impact, has positive impact on profit. I can see that because now my Y variable is profit. And crew skill, I have removed. Service quality, positive impact on profit. So service is important, but service is driven by the skills, by the tenure. So I'm interested in keeping the skills of the managers and improving that. So that takes me to the next part, which is my answer. So remember at the start, I say it's very important that you come up with relevant answers for your client. So what can we derive? Should we be motivating the crew or should we be focusing on the manager? So maybe you can go back to your client now. Maybe if the results were different, you would have said, don't worry about the manager, worry about your crew. In this case, we are saying worry about the manager, right? My results are telling me that. Think about the managers, keep them longer. If the manager stays longer, the crew will stay longer. If the manager is highly skilled, service quality will be driven up. If service quality goes up, profit will go up. So at that point, we can actually start listing what are we thinking about. Now, you have to remember tenure is something that you cannot speed up. You cannot say Charanjit has been at Monash for 30 years. You cannot speed up that process. It's a natural process, but you can definitely focus on retention. You can focus on retention. And what I came up with, if you want to focus on retention, maybe give them long service. Maybe give them a bonus. They will stay longer. And finally, start thinking about incentives. So in this case, incentives are training, maybe. Right? Maybe pay them more. Bonus. That's interesting. And maybe pay the team a bonus. Maybe if this store is doing better, we give the store more money as well, a bigger bonus. This is very common. Now, paying bonuses, I should share something from the Australian perspective, yeah? It was very interesting because when I came to Monash, so I was in Australia, I went back, and then I went back to Malaysia. I worked in Australia for a while, went back to Malaysia, worked for a while in Malaysia, and then said, oh, I don't like Malaysia. I don't like Malaysia because it's too hot. And then I come to Australia and the summer is 40 degrees.
I think that it was 45 once.
45 one time. So then I said, anyway, I had enough of Malaysia and I said, I'm going back to Australia. So I came back to Australia. But in Malaysia, I used to get a bonus. Every year, me and my friends, we wait for a bonus. I came to Australia and I asked somebody, I said, do we get a bonus at the end of the year? And they said, what bonus? What are you talking about? If you do a job, you get paid for your job. Why should you get a bonus? And then I realized that not everybody gets a bonus here. CEOs get a bonus.
Yeah, depends on the performance.
Yeah.
Profit. Yeah.
If you're a chief executive officer, you get a bonus. Otherwise, if you're a staff member, you get paid. sorry, no bonus. And initially, I was a little bit disappointed. I was thinking, oh, end of year, I want to go for a holiday. I want to buy some gifts. No bonus, not good. But then I realized that you get paid to do your job, right? So no bonus anyway. But that's one of the ideas that I came up with. So there is no right, there is no wrong. The most important thing is start small, build your analysis slowly, build it, prepare the data, start small, do many things. Because when you do many things, you will find one answer. Right? Don't go in there thinking I'm going to get the answer in 1 hour. It will never happen. And it may take you a very long time. When you have the answer, validate your answer by doing different things to prove that this answer is right. Try something else, saying the same thing, try something else, telling you the same thing, try a different analysis, descriptive statistics, regression, correlation matrix. Use all your tools. Make sure it's telling you the same story. Validate, then go back to your client. Tell your client, you know what? Yes, you're doing the right thing. You should be investing in creating incentives. Also tell your client that based on evidence, so you must be ethical. So based on this sample, this is my evidence. But maybe if you take a different sample, might tell you a different story.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be very careful. You cannot say, I'm right, everybody else is wrong. Because everything that we do is based on a sample. Sample data, uncertainty, sampling error. Always think of that. So be ethical in reporting your results. Ethical reporting is very important. Okay, I'm going to stop for a bit and let you take a break. Maybe Bu Lutfa, how do you want to proceed?
Yeah. Now is 10:40 in Indonesia, or maybe what
2:40.
time in Melbourne? Oh yeah, 2:40. 2:40. Okay. Uh, the material is
I can make it
finished?
available.
Oh,
The
okay.
material is finished, except there was, I think Bu Rahma asked me to prepare an assignment, which is task number 2.
Yeah,
That's
another
meant
file.
another file, another data set. But what I did for task number
Okay.
2 is I prepared the questions. Maybe the students can prepare the
Yeah.
answers. I think the questions and the
Yeah.
format are very
And then?
clear. The objective of question number 2 is, if you look at loan amount, if I want to apply for a home loan from a government, from a bank, I need to try and improve my chances of getting a higher loan amount approved. So what are the factors that influence loan amounts? So very similar to what we did. The only thing is I added one small thing in there. I added hypothesis testing. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Other than that,
Just
everything else is
need to. Okay. Maybe before Charanjit tells about the second file, ada pertanyaan kah dari teman-teman students? Is there any question about the first file? Lecture data, manager, and other problematic
Don't be shy. Come
skill.
on.
Yeah,
So now you know
don't
why
be
I bring
shy.
Jana with me, yeah? Because Jana will motivate you.
Yeah, don't be shy. Yeah, that's ask.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, no silly questions. It's never.
Do we have actuarial students here?
There is other study program, actuarial study program, actuarial science.
So can I ask the students who are with us today, what degree are they pursuing?
Today, only statistics.
Is it a bachelor's in statistics? I was kind of hoping,
Yes.
I was going to call Aisha,
Yes.
then I thought I better stop.
Oh, okay. Bachelor of Statistics. Is there any data science? Bachelor data science? Students?
Any data
We
science?
have to bachelor degree in Department of Statistics, Charanjit, Bachelor of Data Science, and Bachelor of Statistics. Beside Bachelor of Actuarial Science in Department of Mathematics. We are different department.
Right, okay. So at the moment, I think what we have is Bachelor of Statistics.
Yes, maybe I'm not sure if there is Bachelor of Data Science here or not. Are they attained? But I have give the information about today to them. Okay, is there any question, students? Amar,
Anything
I
you
have
want to
to
ask
call
us?
you again.
Maybe you want
Yeah.
to ask us, is it raining in Melbourne today? It's not, it's
I
very hot.
miss it. It takes so long, Charanjit. Last time I go there and met you in October
Correct.
last
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
Last year. And now is another year, December. It's been 1 year.
1 year. But it's actually very hot today. It's a very hot day.
Oh,
So we
very
are
hot
we are
day.
in we decided to do this lecture from my office. So it's very quiet in our office today because it's Saturday. So
Yeah.
if I'm very, very impressed with your students because I don't think we can have a lecture on a Saturday. We start on Monday, we finish on Friday. So I am very impressed that all of you came for the lecture. We don't have classes.
We usually we have no class in specific on Saturday, but if we organize a online guest lecture, we usually choose Saturday
Right.
for
Okay.
the event, so anyone can join, and no other reason, class or something else.
Right, I see.
Okay.
So
Is there
maybe
any question?
if we have anyone has any questions, Ika, any questions? No? All
Yeah,
good?
Ika, maybe.
All
All
good?
good.
Aisha? Poor Aisha. She's going to go home and say, why do they keep calling my name?
Anissa. Anissa? There's
No?
no question. All good. I
All
think
good.
all
Okay.
good so
What I
far.
will do is I will give you the graphs and the answers, right? I will put all of that into one PDF and I'll send it to you, Bu Lutfa. I'll send it across to you,
Okay.
including all the graphs, so you can
Yeah.
share it with them. You can play with the data. You can do whatever you want. You're welcome to send us an email. I will just spend 5 minutes, just introduce the assignment, and then I think we can call it a day, right? I'll just very quickly
Yes.
explain. If you look at the assignment itself, not this one. We're talking about home loans. Okay, so we're talking about home loans and we're talking about basically different property areas. So whether it's an urban area or whether it's a rural area. So we look at the data will tell you that. And information that is given to you is the gender, their education level, income. So there's a lot of variables which you have. It's not a very big data set, but at the same time, it's a nice data set to play with, more of a business type of data or economics type of data. So your task, your job, analyze, report how loan amount is associated with various factors. So it's a very easy task. It's not very difficult. And I have actually written a bunch of questions to help you. So you start by coming up with a pivot table. So 2 pivot tables. And I mentioned to you the variables. So loan status, property area. What you need to do is you need to go to the data and you need to look at the variables in the data itself, right? So say, for instance, if you look at the data, you will find in column A, there is loan ID, column B, there's gender, column C, there's marital status, and so on and so forth. So I need you to study all the variables here and think about which variables you will need for which question. So it's very straightforward. So distribution of average. Remember, we're talking about average. So you have to change it to an average. When you come up with a pivot table, don't forget to change it to an average. This one refers to proportion, approved and rejected. So all these are just pivot tables. Property area, based on area. So go back to your property. You have 2 different types of areas. Rural and urban. Very simple. And this part of your answer should be no longer than 1 page. So it can be shorter. I say no longer because some of my students like to write a long, long story. So I would say keep it short, keep it short. Now, next one. After you've done that, you go on to question 2, summary statistics and histograms. Rural and urban. What are we looking at? Variable of interest, loan amount. So very simple. Discuss measures of central tendency, variability and shape. Tell me something about central tendency. Compare the 2, rural and urban. When you discuss this, make sure you have a contextual interpretation. Example, if you have a right skewed distribution, it means that some properties are very highly, the loan amount is very high. So that's the contextual interpretation. Then we move on to question 3. Explore the relationship. Come up with this type of table, right? Because we are looking at true average loan amount. And look at rural, look at urban, lower boundary, upper boundary. That's all. We actually did that in the other analysis. Question 3, part B, same thing. More intervals. Question 4, hypothesis testing. So this is slightly different. You need to filter your data and look at approved home loans only. Do a hypothesis test for proportion, population proportion, more than 70. Question 5, multiple regression. Use all of these variables here. And then you can come up, you can produce I've said here 1. So you can either have, I will change this to, maybe I'll change it to 2, so that you can come up with 1, which is the model itself, and 2, so it can be 1 or 2, if you want to reduce it. If anything is not significant, you can reduce it. And finally, you need to answer this question. What are the factors associated with loan amount? What is the importance of demographic financial status? What are your recommendations? So very short, very easy. Okay? Don't stress. If you can't do it, no stress. Yeah, you can always, you can always talk to, you can always talk to us. You can send us an email if you want. We're happy to help you. But otherwise, you know, just look at the data and start working on it. Okay, Bu Lutfa, was that too quick or?
Ya, I think it's enough, but students, ada yang belum jelas?
Maybe it was a little
Cukup.
bit fast, right? I went like
Ya,
a
apakah
train.
Apakah cukup atau ada yang mau ditanyakan terkait datanya? Maulana, clear? Oke. Ika, clear?
All good?
Oke.
Bu Lutfa,
All good, I think.
can I ask for one favor? Do you want to try it again?
Yes.
Which one?
The poll.
One more time, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
the 3 questions. Can I ask the students to do one poll?
Same.
One more time, it's the same poll.
Yes.
It's got the same 3 questions. Do you
Yeah.
wanna run?
Yeah, just moving forward.
So Jana is going to share the screen. Can I please ask all of you to go in?
Yeah.
I turn it off because my computer start to
Lag, is it?
lagging. Yeah, therefore just I'll do this.
So we just wanted to run the first poll another time, if it's possible. Is it possible for everyone to put in your answers to the same poll that we did at the start?
Yes. Same thing, yeah? Same questions. Same thing. I just,
Here. The same questions.
same, yeah, QR code, same. I need to probably stop that so soon. Then we can compare.
I think it's good that a lot of people are able to go in.
Yeah. For slightly different. No. Look. Look at this one. No. QR code. Yeah, you see, it used to be different. It used to be 33. Now it's like, yeah, still intermediate. We can probably stop sharing. You want to come? Yeah, okay.
I think for Lutfa, I think we will let the survey run.
Yeah.
And if you want to stop sharing,
Stop to share, yeah? Okay.
it's open and we will,
Is it?
yeah, it's open. We will leave it and let it run while the others are filling in their responses. Do we have any
Okay.
questions?
Is there any question, students? Or is it so clear enough today? Yeah, maybe I will add some information about the assignment, Charanjit. Nanti tugas yang tadi dijelaskan pada file kedua, file assignment yang ada di Excel, informasi pengumpulannya untuk mata kuliah pemrograman linier akan ada di Brunei. Jadi nanti dipantau dan akan diinformasikan lebih lanjut, gitu ya. Nah, untuk materi hari ini sampai di yang sudah disampaikan oleh Charanjit. Oke. Maybe I think it's enough, Charanjit. Can we
I
go
think
on?
very good. I will send some information that will help the
Okay.
students. And I'll also send the
Yes,
slides.
thank you.
I just wanted to take
Yeah.
this opportunity to thank all the students for attending and for listening to us and for participating. We are very happy to make use of our Saturday to be with all of you. I think you're all very highly engaged and very motivated. We're very proud of you. Very well done. Thank you very much for inviting us. Terima kasih.
You.
Sama-sama.
You're supposed to say terima kasih.
Oh my God, no, I will not even try. Sorry.
You have to try, Zanzu.
Yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah. No, but what I want to
Terima
tell that I
kasih.
just look at the names of the students and you know that we have a lot of same name. Yeah,
Oh.
starting from Aisha, Alia. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like at home. All students name we have same. Yeah, Raisa. Yeah, Anissa. We have same names.
And you make you confused.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you. We are very
Thank you.
honored to have both of you today. It feels like time has flown, and we have now reached the end of OGL at Online Guest Lecture Series 11 even. And this agenda, this event will be closed by Ibu Rahma. Are you there, Ibu Rahma?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Ibu Rahma, please continue to certificate handover and closing remarks for this event.
Okay. Makasih Bu Lutfa. First of all, thanks Charanjit and
Dan
Zanulu.
Sulu.
And Zanzulu.
Zanzulu. Yeah.
Jana is
Thanks.
fine.
Your presentation and your lectures so interactive. So yeah, even though the students are shy to respond, but when you ask to, they have to visit the poll, they participate. It means that they engage actually. So from our department, we have something for you, Charanjit, as a token of appreciation, as an online certificate. Maybe please one of the committee to share the screen and show the certificate. This is from us, Charanjit, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I will send the file to you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm very
And
honored to
hopefully,
join you.
yeah. Hopefully this is not the last from you. We still expect more,
Of course.
perhaps next year. And yeah, this is the very end of the year, 2024. And your presentation is actually one of our last program, inviting several guest lecture
Sitting.
from other universities. Okay, and thanks for the students as well. Yeah, hopefully what you learned today will be useful for your study, or your career next after you graduate. Yeah. And as a closing remark, we say Alhamdulillah and everything works well. And see you on the next agenda. Okay?
Thank
Assalamualaikum
you.
warahmatullahi
Bye.
wabarakatuh. Bye.
Waalaikumsalam.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
All
Yeah.
right, everyone. Maybe
Bye.
I will close first as the moderator and master of ceremony. I would like to thank you for all Charanjit and Zanzulu, and then all the students and participants, the committee, and we will next see you again on the next online guest lecture, series 12, maybe in 2025, next year. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye, Charanjit.
Thank you, Bu Risma.
Zanzulu,
Thank you,
thank
Bu Rahma.
you.
Pak Darmanto, thank you.